big year right off the bat. But I like how you said Peyton. Peyton is a guy that I feel like ever since last March or last April, we have heard so much about.
Yeah, man.
So much about. And I'm not saying that I'm not buying it. I just kind of need to see it at this point.
Of course.
So my 3 receivers, I'm going to go with my guy D. Wiggins. He's going to be that deep ball threat, and really him and King, I think, are going to have a huge season together. Then I have Mark Pope on the other as the X receiver, Y receiver, whatever. But yeah, I got Mark Pope. I'm on the Mark Pope train. I think that he is going to have a big season. I think Wiggins will lead Miami in receiving, but I have Pope having a big year. And then my third guy in the slot is going to be Mike Harley.
Okay.
I really, really love Mike Harley's game, and I just love Mike Harley as a player. He reminds me a lot of, Braxton Berrios, his senior level, or his senior season. I think and Harley brings such leadership and things of that nature to this locker room. And when you think about it, I mean, Harley's the only senior receiver. He's the only one that's really been there for a long time, and so he's going to be that leader. And honestly, I think Harley broke out last year as well. I mean, the Louisville game, he had some big catches against Florida State, and we just see what Harley can do when he's in the open space. His speed is really something.
It is. 38 catches for 485 yards last year, 3 touchdowns, 12.8 average. Wait a minute. Yeah. So that was good for second on the team. You know what I am? I'm surprised. Actually, no, third on the team in terms of receiving yards, because Brevin was number 2, which I'm surprised to hear you say that you think Wiggins is gonna be the leading Well, did you mean receiver from the position?
Yeah. I meant leading receiver as a wide receiver.
Okay, got it. Okay, because I know how you feel about Brevin.
Yes.
But man, look, I'm all for it if Harley can continue what he did last year and better his numbers, because I'm hoping that Miami has at least 3, maybe 4 guys go or sniff the 500 receiving yards mark. Because I'm going back to last year and SMU, Marsh, they had rushing. Here it is, receiving. They had 3 guys go over 700 yards receiving. And of those 3 guys, one of them was over 1,200 yards. That's crazy.
That's just what we've been waiting for. Like, that's what we have, all the receivers that could make that happen.
Yep.
We just haven't had a system, and we just don't get the ball, to our playmakers enough. I mean, SMU was running 80 plays a game last year. We were around like 66.
That's just they ran. I think I read somewhere that they had a game where they ran like 50 plays at the half.
Yeah.
And Miami had run in a game. They had run like 60 something or whatever, and it's just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But Miami had everything in the book. You want height, we got height. You got speed, you want speed, we got speed. You want guys that can do it. Mark Pope is 6'1". He's not a small guy. I feel confident in throwing him a fade ball, but I do not want to see Mike Harley throwing a fade. I don't want to see that. Give me Peyton, give me Wiggins, give me even Redding, okay? Give me that or whatever. Keyshawn, Jordan, Brevin Jordan, anybody like that, but don't give me the smallest guy in the field, throw him a fade.
Oh my gosh, I think it was like the Virginia Tech game last year where they tried to throw Harley a fade and it was intercepted. Oh, yeah, it was so bad. I was so pissed watching that. Okay, so on the receiver side, I think there's either 4 or 5 true freshmen. You got Dazzlin Worsham, you got Xavier Restrepo, Keyshawn Smith, Michael Redding.
Right.
And then Jeremiah Payne's a redshirt freshman. Out of those 4 true freshmen, who could you see having the most impact on this year's team?
Keyshawn. Yeah. And I'm glad you asked me that because, look, I love X. And I think that this is what I think about the freshman receivers. When their number is called upon, I don't think they're going to miss. I think they are going to impact the game when they are called upon. Okay, I don't think they're going to passes because X is zeroed in as focused as you want him to be. Okay, and Keyshawn Smith. Okay, I had a chance. This was back in February. I spoke to his coach. All right, his high school coach, and he compared it to Santana Moss. All right, he said he had burst. Check this out. Check this. You know what? I'm gonna find it and I'll retweet it for the masses because people probably forgot. I mean, like I said, this was February, but in any event, speaking to his coach, really cool guy. His coach was recruited by Miami, by the way. Ended up playing receiver for Fresno State with David Carr back in the day.
Okay.
Big guy, cool guy. I asked him because I needed to know. I said, look, what are we gonna get? Who do you compare him to? You're a Miami guy. You wanted to come to Miami. Give me somebody. And he, without hesitation, said Santana Moss. And he used things like burst and separation and speed. And I said, holy crap. I had to hold on to my chair. I almost fell out of my chair because isn't that what you want to hear when you think about a Miami receiver? When he said burst, he emphasized, he said, this is what made him get stronger and faster. He was already a natural athlete. Once he got in that weight room, things just took off. So my head automatically went to Feely. I'm thinking if a high school strength and conditioning staff can make his game, so much better, what the hell is Feely's strength and conditioning gonna do? And that's where I started thinking, all-star type stuff. So I think it's going to be Keyshawn because he was already making noise in the spring before COVID happened.
Yeah, he absolutely was. And he's got great sights. He's got track speed just like Santana did. And so I'm very, very excited about our freshman receivers. I love Keyshawn Smith. I love X. Dazzlin Worstrom is a really good possession receiver. And then Michael Redding could be the most talented out of all of them.
Exactly, which is crazy.
Which is insane. So in my opinion, I see either Keyshawn or Redding. That's hard to say because Redding is coming off a wrist injury, I think. But I could see Keyshawn or maybe even X having an impact on this year's team. But receivers, I think this year could be a transition year, like a learning year. But I think the future of our wide receivers is insane. I think it could be so incredibly good, especially with the 3 guys we have signed in the 2021 class. But okay, tight ends. My favorite position on offense.
Let's do it.
Okay, Brevin Jordan, this is probably his final year with the Canes. Sad to say. But we got him. I don't think there's any question whether he is going to start or not. He is our biggest threat on the offense, you could even say. He was he was a finalist for the Mackey Award last year. Just truly one of the best tight ends in the country. He had some injury problems last year. What do you think we're going to see from Brevin his junior season?
A lot like Derek King in the sense that he says, you know what, I'm going to make this my money year. Okay, because and I know it's only social media, but I mean that's really, I don't know the guy personally. That's what I can go off of. He seems like he's focused too. He seems like he's kind of pissed off because I think that he thinks that people are writing him off. But why are you writing him off when he was injured? It's not like if he, didn't do anything he was the leading receiver on the team last year. I'm pulling up his numbers now. He had 35 catches, which did not lead the team, but his 495 yards did. Actually, no, I'm sorry. KJ Osborne led the team. He was second on the team in 495 yards. Only had 2 touchdowns. One of them was against Florida. But this is a guy. Remember that FSU game in 2018 when he scored the touchdown to go ahead? Yep. Did he come off running that, or was he lined up in the slot? He was lined up in the slot.
He was lined up in the slot.
Okay. You got a tight end that can line up in the slot. A 6'3", 245 tight end that can line up in the slot. If you want to go old school, okay, you can put him, and I think we are. I think we're going to see some old school at some point. You could even line him up as a fullback if you want to, because I don't know if you remember. I know you don't remember, but I'm sure you watched the game. Shockey in a national championship game against Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
He's on which it was a swing pass out of the backfield. He has a type of ability that he can line up anywhere, cause mismatches. You could flank him out wide. You could throw him a fade in the end zone. I think that's going to be Derek's number 1 target. It's got to be because the tight end is quarterback's best friend. What better weapon do you want than a Mackey finalist?
Exactly. And with a quarterback like De'Ara King and an offensive coordinator like Rhett Lashley, Brevin could win that Mackey Award easily.
Yeah.
Like, like the dude had, I think, 495 yards last year. Was so underutilized. It was infuriating because you saw him on that first drive against the Gators, that first game against the Gators, and then it was only like the Virginia Tech game. Other than that, where he was really a factor in the game, and it just pissed you off so much because you knew what a difference Brevin could make on this offense. But I digress because I think Brevin is going to have unbelievable stats this year. I mean, you saw what Kyle Branson did at tight end for SMU last year. The dude was everywhere. Lashley knew exactly how to use him. And I see a lot of him in a guy that you and I are both fond of, and that's Will Mallory.
I love that guy. Another guy I don't know personally, but I want to hug him.
I love him. I love Will Mallory. Okay, so he is also going into his junior season. I think that this is finally the year where we see Mallory really, show people all these idiots on Twitter who think he's just not good. I think that this is the year where he proves them wrong. What do you think about Will Mallory?
Dude, I hope at some point, or maybe, I don't know part of how much of a staple in the offense is going to be, but him and Brevin in there at the same time, I'm dying for it. I want to see it so bad because, and you already know what I'm going to say about Will Mallory, but I'm going to repeat it again. This is my favorite thing to say about him, how the guy is a senior in high school, made it to the state championship track meet, okay, and finished third in the 110-meter hurdles. So he has speed, okay? Yes, he had a case of the dropsies every now and then, and it cost us, whatever, but he's a natural talent. And when guys like Rowe and then Brevin, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like how can you not get excited? He has a bigger frame, catch radius. He's probably as fast or faster than Brevin. That guy needs to get the ball thrown to him.
Absolutely. He's great in the open field. I love Will Miller. I mean, he can move like a receiver. He really he just has great. He's so fluid in the open field. And then the other tight ends on the roster, it's Larry Hodges and Dominic Mammarelli. Do you think we see any of those guys? Like, do you think that those two really make a name for themselves this year, or do you think that we still have to wait for them?
Well, you got to think about it. Larry got some snaps. I don't know how. I can't recall how much he saw the field before Brevin got hurt, but I want to say that the majority of his time was when Brevin was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Red freshman Dominic is a true freshman. You got to wonder about Dominic, and this goes to the receivers too. The freshman receivers, they can play 4 games and still get redshirted, or did I say that right? You could play 4 and still get redshirted, right?
Yeah, you can play 4, and 4 games is the limit.
Okay, so I don't think we're going to see much of him at the tight end spot, but maybe on special teams. So, these guys going to end up redshirting. Are they going to play 4 games? Are they going to play more? I don't know. But Morelli, not expecting much from him. I like Hodges because he reminds me of a Chris Herndon. Like, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all kind of guy. 6'2", 230. And I think that's, what I kind of see in him. I'm hoping that's Khalil Brantley. Khalil Brantley, I know we're not going to see him this year, but he's fast.
Yeah.
He's like fast.
He's good.
And he's only like 6'2", maybe, a little over 200 pounds, whatever. But I like Hodges a lot, man. And I think that if called upon, that's a dependable guy. With at least a year's experience on his belt.
And also, I think an interesting point to make is before the schedule got switched around, we were under the impression that we would be playing Temple, Wagner, then UAB, and so that would have allowed a lot of time for the freshmen to get in, things like that. We don't have that luxury anymore.
Very true.
Because we only have one non-conference game, and then it's into the fiery pit of hell of the ACC. So I didn't even think about that till then, because, I mean, who knows now how much some of these true freshmen are going to get to play. But tight end, I think we can all agree we're probably the most confident in the tight end position on offense. I mean, Brevin Jordan is a future first-round pick. I think Will Mallory could still be a first-round pick. Like, his talent
is now, though.
The time is absolutely now, and then next year when Brevin is gone. Okay,
Right.
the last